Yeah,
All right.
traded in the F-150 for Ford Escape. 1 year newer
Ooh.
and still
Okay.
alive.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Now, okay, there's that for the YouTube portion. Now, Facebook Live.
All right. For anyone
Three,
who is
two,
watching,
one. Okay, I just gotta.
for anyone who is
There we
watching,
go.
bear with us. We're trying to dual stream to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. We're just testing this out to see how it's working.
I think everything's good to go. Facebook Live. We're live on there. We're live on YouTube.
Yeah, I just got
So
the Facebook notification, so we're good on Facebook.
yeah. So I'll try to keep an eye out on the on the actual streams on my computer. But if someone could just keep an update for me on the Facebook.
You might want to full screen your page on Facebook, Mark, because it looks really weird.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think we're good.
Oh, just get some screen sharing. So
Yeah. Waiting to see if we get any comments popping up, but I believe we don't. And checking YouTube here. For some reason, I lost the YouTube feed. What's going on? Sorry, guys. This is both something we want to do, but also for anyone watching, we're trialing a couple things here for the future. Stuff we'll talk about later. All right. So on that note, since we seem to be set up, I just want to welcome everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to our friends in the Americas, RJ included, who's here with us live. And today, it's one of those rare days where almost all of us, if not all of us, are off work, free, and available. So I figured, why not, since we're coming up on our 2-month anniversary here at Full Metal, have a Full Metal Thanksgiving thank you stream. So the four of us, myself, Sandy, RJ, and of course, our puddin', Mark, are all here just to say thank you to you guys and answer any questions you may have. We got a couple of topics of discussion that we're going to go through as well. Probably going to be going for maybe an hour, hour and a half, just however long we feel like until we think we've run out of stuff to talk about. Knowing this group, it's probably going to run long, but that's just what we do. So let's see. Any comments? Anyone who has any comments? And we're watching both live on Facebook and live on YouTube. So whichever is your platform of choice, feel free to pop a comment and we'll get to it when we can. For now, though, Mark, I believe you had a couple things you wanted us to start off with.
well, I guess just it's kind of like random talking. So I guess let's start off. Do you guys want to start off with Justice League?
Well, Sandy, you just saw it this afternoon. So start off. You got any impressions of it, having just seen it?
Yeah, we were talking about it just a little bit before we came on here. I really enjoyed it. There wasn't a ton of stuff that pulled me out of it. The only time the mustache gate, as we're calling it, bugged me was the very opening first scene where Superman was talking to, spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen it, where Superman was talking to those kids. That was the only time that it really pulled me out. I mean, you noticed it a couple more times, but it wasn't that big a deal to me. Yeah, Steppenwolf really didn't seem to be that big of a villain. I really wished, I really wished, like listening to John Schnepp and listening to Robert Meyer Burnett, I really wish they would have played up the dark side angle a little bit more, or like for like just a split second when he was being pulled up with all those parademons that we see, like just the red flash of Darkseid's eyes up at the top of it or whatever like that, and that's how, or we see the zigzag of the Omega beams, and getting rid of Steppenwolf. We're there. But all in all, I went to the movie wanting to have a good time. I left, had a good time. I enjoyed the movie a lot. I agree with a lot of people that this movie may have benefited for 10, 15, maybe 20 more minutes of background story to it. But, we're going to get an Ultimate Edition of some kind with more footage in it. So I'll wait for that and then see how that improves the movie. But overall, I really, really enjoyed the movie. And I'd go back and see it again. Definitely going to buy it.
All right. RJ, any thoughts?
I just wish it was longer. Like I felt like it was a good movie, but I just really wanted like 10 or 15 more minutes. Just a couple of those scenes were obviously cut, and I really wish some of it would have been fleshed out more. But for what they gave us, I enjoyed the hell out of it. Like a lot of people are saying, I really enjoyed Ezra Miller's Flash. That was really good. I really enjoyed Aquaman more than I thought I would. I was really afraid that I was going to go in there and be like, this is just Jason Momoa with superpowers. Like, and then, it made me super excited for Aquaman. The little bit we got to see of Atlantis and their underwater filming technique. I mean, I'm super excited for that now. And then, spoiler alert too, I love that we got a glimpse of a Green Lantern in that flashback. I was just like, thank you.
Oh, I know. I got
chills.
Awesome.
Oh, dude, like as soon as they were like in Warriors of Other Places, and I just saw that green hammer come swinging, I was like, oh my God, yes. And like, people were already like, oh, was that Abin Snore? I'm like, I don't think so, because that was apparently like 5,000 years ago. I'm pretty sure that wasn't Abin Snore.
Yeah.
I think we're good. Like, that ring did not go find Hal Jordan. We're okay.
No.
Yeah.
But
that was really cool. And then them already talking about the fact of like new gods, knowing that they want to go with that storyline, that's pretty cool to know. And those end credit scenes. The first one was just pure delight, and the second one was one of the best setups I've seen for a post-credit scene in a comic book movie.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to talk about that. And if you haven't caught it already, folks, spoiler alert. We are spoiling some major stuff here if you haven't seen it. But come on, you're all nerds. We know you've seen it. That end credit scene gave me chills. It was so well done. Joe Manganiello looks amazing as Deathstroke. I didn't think they'd go the full bore with the gray hair and the goatee. I thought they'd make it a little bit less obvious. But no, he went full bore Slade Wilson, and I love it. And honestly, Luthor, it seems totally different. It's the same. We know it's the same guy, but he's not the same little creepy tech billionaire slimeball ripping off his own shtick as Mark Zuckerberg from Social Network. It's like they finally let him. There should be a couple more scenes where he finally found his character. He's playing a younger Lex Luthor, someone who knows he's got his whole life ahead of him, and if he can stop Superman, he's got his whole life to take over the world. So it played perfectly to me. I loved it.
I've actually been arguing with people about that. His character to me was exactly the same. The only thing that is different is he was in a suit, like Lex Luthor should be.
Yeah.
That suit made all the difference because everyone took him seriously.
For me, go ahead, Mark.
For me, trust me, I'm probably one of the biggest people that had the biggest issue with Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor in the Batman v Superman. For me, it was the length of time. We had about 30 seconds of this Lex Luthor. I enjoyed it. We had a lot of time in Batman v Superman. It got annoying real quick. We'll just have to see what goes on from here. How it goes from here. But I love that. I love that post-credit scene.
Yeah, for me though, like it wasn't just the fact that he was in the suit, it was the posture. It was just the little tiny changes in his speech mannerism. He's sitting there, it's not like you think he's the tech billionaire who's going to offer you a Coke and make you pay for it. He's going to give you a $10,000 glass of champagne just to show off. He's got that swagger about him in that scene, and that's what I love the most is he was missing that swagger of being the richest man in the world and the smartest man in the world when he was in Batman v Superman. And now that you see just that little glimpse of it, it kind of makes me wish they could go back and tell him, this is how you should have played Luthor the first time.
He was adult.
Yeah.
That's the difference. He was a kid in Batman v Superman, just joking around and having a good time and playing little games and stuff like that. He's an adult now. He knows that there's consequences, and he also knows that he has to do what he has to do because, the threat is still out there. So my wife said the same thing as RJ did. Was she came out of that going, I want to see the Aquaman movie. I want to see the Aquaman movie. I'm looking forward to it. So I think that DC would have been. I think that they would have. I hate to bring up the comparison because it's just going to get compared, and it just bugs me. The shit really does. But you have to copy what works. And I'm sorry, Jeff Johns is a talented guy, but Kevin Feige's been killing it. And you've got to flush out these characters, especially the main characters, and give them their own story. And now I hope, even though the box office has not been their friend so far, this outcome, but it's very much gonna, I think, a benefit of seeing these characters get fleshed out a little bit. Anyway, guys, I loved being here with you guys. I wish I could stay for longer, but I gotta beat it out of here. So the wife's coming in, getting out of here. But I'll pop in if I can get you guys in about a half hour. See if you guys are still on.
Oh yeah, we'll still be here. Don't worry.
Yeah, we definitely will be.
These guys.
Here's Sandy.
Yeah, and what he was saying about Mustache Gate, my only real thing about it was when he first came back to life and was holding Batman face to face. That was the only time it hit it for me, because just looking at him, I was like, something is wrong with your face. Like,
no, the opening scene definitely did it for me on that Mustache Gate. I thought that scene you're talking about, it was actually a bit better. They definitely paid more attention on that one because it's such a pivotal moment of the two of them coming face to face for the first time since BVS.
Yeah.
But you could tell it's still there. It's still ridiculous.
Yeah. And honestly, you guys are talking about the credit scene. I didn't even notice it. I did not notice it in the first scene at all. I only noticed it in the part where he first came back to life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and just at the moment, I'd like to thank Zach Ford and Robert Parker, and of course my puddin, Brian Fernandez, for watching us at the moment.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, and then it's just nice to know that with that end credit scene that, like, it sets up their individual movies too, because now, okay, we're going to get Injustice League or Legion of Doom, whichever way you're going to decide to go with it. And now in these individual movies, we are going to meet the Injustice League.
Yeah,
like, whoever they face.
Yeah, the thing I want to see the most, though, is there's been talk about Aquaman's movie's done. We're going to wait and see who's in that movie. But for the Flash movie, they've already said they want to do Flashpoint. I don't want Flashpoint. I want Flash versus the Rogues. I want that movie. Just him versus the classic Rogues gallery. I want a Batman movie where all of his old villains come out of retirement to go make one last run at him. I want Wonder Woman 2 maybe to have some classic villains like Cersei and Cheetah, have those two team up. But make it the individual stories. And then let all these characters come together. And in the next movie, Luthor's like, hey, y'all got your asses kicked individually. If we all work together, work off each other's strengths, we'll shut down these six and we'll teach them a lesson.
Yeah. And that's the hard part, too, because it's like, especially in this universe, it's already so easy to tell that everyone has that one person they can go up against in their individual movie. Aquaman, they've already said that not only does he have to deal with his brother, who's going to be Patrick Wilson, they even said Dark Ocean's going to show, or Black Manta's going to show up.
Yeah.
So for all we know, it's going to be Ocean Master and Black Manta who are going to join the Injustice League. We actually don't even know where they're going to go with that. And then Wonder Woman, like you said, it can be Cheetah, it can be what was the other one?
Cersei.
It could be either one of those, so they could go either way with that. But Flash, it's so hard because all his major storylines, when he goes up against his really big villains, it always has to do with time. It always has to do with a fucked up timeline.
Yeah.
That's what sucks. And because Flashpoint is so prominent right now, it's just like why they went with Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, because Dark Knight storyline was so popular about Batman and Superman fighting, an older Batman putting on a suit of armor and going toe-to-toe with Superman.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're doing with Flashpoint. That's exactly what they're doing.
See, I don't know if they'll do the full-on Flashpoint, though, because we've already seen it. We've already seen a tamed down version of it in the TV show. We already have an animated version of it that was done to the letter of the comic for the most part. There's just so much in Flashpoint that you might as well make that Justice League 2 and blow a $300 million budget on it. For me, a great Flash movie would be to capitalize on Ezra Miller's great character work and then have him go up against a team of rogues who are just the standard rogues. Captain Cold, Boomerang, Mirror Master, Trickster, Pied Piper, the whole lot of them. Just to have those guys going against Flash and have him have to save the city from these 5 coming together, trying to wreak havoc on Central City, and then see what happens. I think it'd be a much better story in that case.
I'd actually prefer Gorilla Grodd. Not gonna lie. I would, if he was gonna go up against one person, I'd pick Grodd.
If it's one villain, Grodd. But for me, I just want to see the entire Rogues gallery on screen in one movie.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then a similar thing for Batman of having him go up against maybe 2 or 3 of his villains working together to try and go for one last big score or one last big run to take over the city.
I say with Batman, the easiest thing to do would be Assault on Arkham.
Yeah.
Put him in there when everyone's in jail. There's a big jailbreak, and as he's going through the levels, he comes face to face with each of his old rivalries. And let Deathstroke set him up. That way it still sets up the Injustice League. Let Deathstroke set him up.
By the way, Nazario agrees with you. Grodd would be a great pick if you had to pick one villain for Flash. And I agree. If it was just one villain, Grodd would be it. But
you're right, though. His Rogues Gallery is also very nice to just, like, if we're going to have a team up against Flash, then put his Rogues Gallery together. We already love Captain Boomerang. He's one of the redeeming qualities of Suicide Squad.
Exactly.
What about you, Mark? Quiet over there.
Yeah, no, it's just I'm just trying to keep an eye on the chat and I'm listening. Yeah, it just granted I'm not the biggest DC fan. I truly care about Batman. I enjoy Justice League, and it just I would have to go with when it comes to the part that I did not like about Justice League for sure, without a doubt, is the fact that they kept cutting to that family. The payoff was decent for it, yes, but it was just like, why do they keep cutting back to this family?
You can't really tell if that's a Whedon edition or a Snyder edition. That's the weird thing about it.
No, it is obviously Whedon.
I don't know, because...
No, and I will tell you why. Why it's obviously Whedon. Avengers Age of Ultron. In Sokovia, what did we always go back to? That little boy and his sister.
Yeah,
they're focusing on a human element during the crisis to make us feel more involved in it. That was all Whedon. I would put money on it.
What do you guys think of the fact that there is a fan petition online to get us the Snyder cut of the film, which supposedly is nearing 3 hours in length?
In all honesty, I haven't seen the ultimate cuts for Batman v Superman or Suicide Squad.
Well, I don't think Suicide Squad ever got one.
It upsets you. Like I made a month ago, even before this happened, I was like, they're going to make an ultimate edition or another cut of it. DC's always doing that right now. You go see the movie in the theater, and then like, oh, that movie sucked. Why did you see that one? Here's a better version of it. Like almost right away. It's just like
but here's my question: did Suicide Squad get one?
Yes. No. It had the deleted scenes available on Blu-ray, but you could easily go with or without them. Really, it was Batman v Superman's Ultimate Edition that, for me, saved the movie. But that's more a Zack Snyder thing, because he did the same thing with Watchmen with the director's cut. It is a better film than the one we saw in theaters. Same thing with BVS. I kind of have a feeling, had he been able to finish the movie, Snyder's Justice League might have clocked in around 2.5 hours, and then he would have had an Ultimate Edition that was nearing 3 with a little bit more character moments. But from the trailers and stuff of his version, that, to me, would have just been more of Batman v Superman's dark tone, mixed with maybe a couple of one-liners from Flash and Aquaman, but it's not a version of the movie I am keen to see. If it ends up coming out, I'll watch it, but I'm not pounding at the doors for it. I think we got just enough of a good thing with Justice League to build off of and make this the standard tone for the future movies, along with Wonder Woman.
Right. I gotta admit, though, my absolute favorite moment in the actual film was Aquaman when he accidentally had the lasso of truth against his leg and was straight up like, I got so much to live for. Am I gonna die? I mean, I don't know if you're gonna betray us. You're still freaking weird, and you're just so gorgeous. I mean, and you're a great fighter.
Yeah, his little
that shit was hilarious.
It was awesome. Honestly, this is more of a weird one, but my favorite moment was probably the grave digging scene with Flash and Cyborg.
It was pretty funny.
When Flash is just cracking up, and you can tell Ezra Miller probably behind the scenes was cracking up and trying to keep a straight face the whole time. Don't you feel weird about what we're doing? That's what we got to do. But yeah, isn't this just really weird? Just don't worry about it. That was so fucking random and out of nowhere and macabre, but it works because the two of them, Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller, they work so well together as Cyborg and Flash. I know people were talking about a Flash movie being a pair-up of the two of them. I see why. I want to see that. They were so good together.
I remember that being the original plan, at least like when they were talking about it before Flashpoint came in. They were like, no, it's going to be a buddy cop movie. Like, basically, they were like, it's going to be Thor Ragnarok, but with Flash and Cyborg. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's why they scrapped it, because then Thor Ragnarok came out and everybody was like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Because I remember that being the original stuff. But, man, I got to tell y'all, I want Shazam already. After they made those casting announcements, I want Shazam.
You know, honestly, because of The Rock, I've wanted it, like, years ago. I want to see The Rock as Black Adam.
Well, from the sound of it, we're going to get him twice because he's going to be apparently in Suicide Squad 2 as a member of the new squad. Wonder how they're going to handle him in that. And then, you know, he's going to show up in Shazam. He's got to at least make a cameo appearance explaining his powers alongside Billy Batson's. But that aside, the second they announced Zach Levy is playing Captain Marvel in that, I was like, done, sign me up. I've been a Zach Levy fan since Chuck. Anyone remembers that show? It's fucking awesome. And he plays such a fun character who has powers that he can't explain. It's going to be just like, it's kind of like Captain Marvel, except it's all science-based instead of magic. But it's perfect. And he could pull a John Krasinski where he just bulks up a little bit and they use maybe just a little bit of padding to make him look big in the costume. But he's got the natural charm and the natural wit to really sell that role.
Well, here's the thing also about him. A lot of people don't realize this because everyone's comparing him to The Rock, who's going to be Black Adam. Zach Levi ain't a small dude.
No.
Like, yes, he has some bulking up to dude, but he's a big dude. He's like 6'2". He's not small.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to do a lot of bulking up. He probably just has to make himself a little more top-heavy than usual because, let's face it, most comic book characters, that's what they are. They're top-heavy.
Yeah. Like, I remember for years now, he had been hosting live talks at Comic-Con at the Petco Field. And he'd have Tom Hiddleston on for a couple years, and Hiddleston looks tiny compared to Zach. Like Zach, it's like this. It's ridiculous. Like he's a large man. He's tall. He's got the build. He just needs to bulk up a little bit in the upper body, and he'll sell Shazam no problem.
But what I think Black Adam's cameo in Shazam is going to be simply as if Shazam comes out before Justice League 2, which it probably will. Black Adam is obviously going to be set up as his counterpart for the Justice League and or Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
And I believe that's how they'll put him in to the Shazam movie without having to make him the main antagonist. Because they've already said they're going to set up somebody else.
Yeah. Personally, what I would like to see, though, is his cameo not only kind of explain his power in Suicide Squad, that we see him in Suicide Squad, because that's probably going to come out first from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, Suicide Squad's supposed to be.
Just getting the simple explanation of you see the wizard and he's like, I once put my faith in Teth Adam. He failed me. Billy Batson, you are my last hope to carry the power of the gods to do mankind good.
That would also be good. Yeah, they'll probably use him in that story too. Yeah, they'll say like, I've trusted this power to another before and it didn't work out.
Yeah. And then, because the other thing too, I know they were talking about for a while was having Black Adam be Superman's villain in Man of Steel 2. Yeah. But then that didn't pan out for whatever reason, probably because people realized, wait, that's just a backdoor way to get Shazam in there and get The Rock on contract. But once they started seeing that the movies are making money despite their perceived quality, they're like, no, we can just go ahead with the Shazam movie. People will probably go see it for The Rock alone.
Yeah, but I think the thing with Suicide Squad 2 is he's not going to be part of the team. He's their mission. They're trying to find Black Adam. That was my understanding from the reports I've been reading. Was that their mission is to get Black Adam? That they're looking for a WMD, WMD, and it turns out to be him. It turns out to be Black Adam. Like in some weird government hibernation type thing, like what was the name of that one thing that like DC has? Oh my God, what are they freaking called? Cadmus, right?
Yeah.
Cadmus. Like I think they're gonna introduce Cadmus. That Cadmus has Black Adam under lock and key, and it's Suicide Squad being hired to go retrieve him for Waller, but then Lex Luthor ends up getting his hands on him.
Yeah. I think that'd be interesting. Yeah.
I would love to see that because if Lex Luthor is going to get his hands on him, obviously right now, Deathstroke, not his bitch, but he's his errand boy right now. He's like, I need you to go get these people together for me and bring them all here. So seeing the Suicide Squad up against Deathstroke, yes, absolutely 100 times over, yes. That needs to happen.
Yeah. Now, that being said, actually, I think we just brought up another point here. I actually debated this on my Battleground match a couple of weeks ago. If anyone's seen it, it was actually just aired last week. I would honestly say, of all the now upcoming DC movies, Shazam is probably the one I'm most hyped for. Honestly,
it's tied with Aquaman.
Yeah.
Like, just because after Justice League. Like,
after Justice League, I am now very keen to see an Aquaman movie. I've been keen since they announced James Wan is directing, because on top of making a couple of my favorite horror movies of the past few years, he also did one hell of a job on his Fast and Furious film, and the dude proves he knows action. But for me, Shazam is just the one character that it could be a new Superman, and that's what he is. He originally was Superman. He was a Superman clone meant to outsell Superman for Fawcett Comics before they got bought out. And honestly, just the potential there of having a little kid who turns into a giant hulking superhero with the power of the Greek gods and fighting against The Rock, who has all the same powers, that it just sounds like, shut up and take my money. It sounds so good.
Yeah, and then that's what's great about what they've done, because already introducing Wonder Woman, you don't have to re-explain the idea of gods.
Yeah.
It's already there. We already know that in this universe, they did exist.
Yeah.
So his powers will kind of make sense.
Yeah. Like, I'm just thinking about it. The slate of confirmed films we have, we've got Aquaman, we've got Suicide Squad 2, we've got Wonder Woman 2, we've got Shazam. There's still no confirmation of the Matt Reeves Batman film, although apparently it is in development. Man of Steel 2 is coming down the pipeline. And honestly, despite the opening weekend, I think we are going to get a Justice League 2 probably in 2020 or 2021 after a few years. Plus, they got to probably work some contracts out with the other actors. But to me, it's actually a good time to be a DC fan, because they're trying. They've listened to the fans, and they're trying to make funner movies. Wonder Woman proved it, and Justice League, yeah, it had problems, but it's because you take two completely stylistically different directors and give one of them 6 months to fix the other's film. You're going to end up with a mess, but it's still a fun mess to watch.
Yeah. I just want a Green Lantern announcement. I just want that one back on track. I remember at first it was supposed to be Green Lantern Corps in 2020. I need Green Lantern.
We need a Green Lantern to make up for the Green Lantern we got.
Yeah. Not only that. I mean, Green Lantern is my boy when it comes to DC. That's my hero, hands down, all day, every day. I'll always go for Green Lantern.
Yeah.
If it was whose powers I can have, F Superman and F Batman. I want that ring.
Well, I don't know if I'd want his ring, but I would want a ring. Definitely.
Hell yeah. Let me be a guardian of Sector, I don't know. It's a fucking long number. Actually, it's only like 1,000. It's like in the thousands, but I always forget it.
2814.
It is 2814? Yeah, I knew it was something in the thousands. But anyways, yes, just make me the guardian. I'm happy. There's like 5 Green Lanterns anyways. Just give me one.
Well, technically, it's 3,600 and something, 2 per sector normally, I think is what it is. And then Earth gets an exception because we're Earth.
Yeah, for some reason we get an exception, so there's 3 Green Lanterns.
Actually, I think currently it's actually like 6 are from Earth.
I only know of the 4 main ones. I don't know the newer 2.
Yeah.
If there are.
There are the newer. It's all 6 of them are still in canon Green Lanterns. That's the ridiculous thing. They created the 2 new ones to kind of balance off light and darkness. Like there was the one guy from Detroit who uses guns, and then the new girl who's meant to be like take no shit, a female Hal Jordan. But they're both still pretty fun.
I swear to God, if they make a 7th one just so they can have a crossover comic where all of them are going to be a different lantern at a time, I'm going to shoot somebody.
Oh, yeah. Let's hope not.
I know, because first of all, you're going to have to go through the whole bullshit of there only being one orange lantern.
Yeah.
You'd have to deal with that bullshit.
Well, I mean, they tried that with a couple of the events back in the mid-2000s after Rebirth. They tried it with New Guardians, all 7 leaders teaming up. They tried it with War of the Light, with each of the 4 Earth getting a different ability. Yeah. It was kind of a weird one, but it also kind of worked out because they all had different personalities to embody, things like that. But
yeah.
Anyway, let's see. What do we got going on in the comments?
Yeah, unfortunately, me trying to edit this stuff.
Okay. Yeah, Jim says he popped over from Facebook to here because the audio is working better. Nazario actually thinks that Batman solo movie should be Death in the Family to explain the dead Robin. I think Death in the Family, no. I want a live action Under the Red Hood. That is the Batman story that got me back into reading Batman comics in 2004. And the animated version of it is already so good, but a live action version with Leto's Joker would actually kind of work for me. You just need the right person to play Red Hood, and yeah, you bring in either Nightwing or Tim Drake to play the sidekick, but they don't factor in for half the story anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
But actually, for what Ben Affleck apparently wants to do, that wouldn't be bad, because you can turn Red Hood around to be, if you bring in Nightwing as well, you could maybe use that as the scapegoat for him to pass on the cow and turn Nightwing into Batman.
Yeah, well, I'm still skeptical because, let's face it, if Warner Brothers does the typical studio thing and just backs a truck of money up to his house to do a movie, he might stick around. But if this is going to truly be Affleck's out as Batman after the solo movie, I want to see them do Batman R.I.P. and then lead that into Battle for the Cowl. I think that would be a good 2-film story to build up the next Batman, the successor to Bruce Wayne.
Yes, but could you have that figured out before Justice League 2? Because Justice League 2 has to have a Batman.
Yes, you could. Because you could film the first film is about the fall, rise, and then disappearance of Batman against an enemy he's never seen before, the Black Hand, who work with the Joker. So you can bring him in and kind of help reinvent him a little bit. Go with Grant Morrison's version of the Joker that he reinvents himself every few years because even he doesn't know the truth about who he is other than being an agent of chaos. And then the second film would be all 3 of the past Robins and then now all grown up or at different stages of adulthood fighting over who's going to be the next Batman.
Right.
So that to me would sell as a movie, a 2-parter. And you just release them 6 months apart and do some crazy stuff like that. And then, yeah, you could bang them both out in time for Justice League.
That'd be something to see. And that'd be a lot of money.
It'd be a lot, but people
those things would have to bank.
Well, the box office returns on the last few Batman movies prove that it'll bank. You don't need to throw $200 million at a Batman movie to make it good. You just need a good, compelling script and good actors to play the villains. That's what's worked for Batman for years. And when Batman films are bad, it's because they don't have those 2 elements, a great script and a great cast to back it up with playing the villains.
Yeah. I just want my Avengers trailer. That's so much to ask for. I mean, what the fuck is with this?
I have a feeling we won't see it until December. We'll probably see it in a couple of weeks, maybe a week before Last Jedi drops, because you know they're going to want the Avengers trailer in front of every print of Last Jedi. It's going to happen.
Absolutely. And if it's not, someone's going to get stabbed. I don't care. I'm going to stab somebody. Someone's going to die. If I sit there in front of Last Jedi and I go through like 15 trailers and none of them are Avengers 4, I might walk out of that movie.
Yeah.
I might be like, I'm upset. I'll come back later when I get over it.
See, to me, though, I know it's going to be there, but I don't want to see it for the first time in front of The Last Jedi. I want to see it before that. Because let's face it, you go into The Last Jedi, all you want is The Last Jedi. It's going to be one of those few movies that I'm sitting there in the theater like, fuck these commercials, fuck these trailers, fuck all this. Get me the movie. Play it.
Yeah, but you know we're going to see something Han Solo.
Yeah,
they're going to have something ready by then.
Yeah,
something.
Yeah. I was wondering about...
Didn't they actually say Ron Howard already finished reshooting all this crap?
He's finished his production cut. He's ready to go. He's done enough that he's going to get the sole credit directing the movie. Apparently his reshoot was for over 60% of the material, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. So you know they're going to have something like that already in front of it, but you're probably right. We'll get it 1 or 2 weeks before online, and then they'll say, yes, it's going to be in front of Last Jedi.
Yeah, probably. There was something else here, a couple of comments. Jim is shaking his head because I didn't bring up Terry McGinnis becoming the successor for Batman. Doing Batman Beyond is a big screen feature. If they were going to do that, they should have done it 10 years ago instead of the Nolan movies when Batman Beyond was a hot property on television and in the comics. Now, I don't know. I just don't see it working. You have to make it both futuristic but modern day. Tie in Affleck's Batman as Bruce Wayne. I don't see it working without a Bruce Wayne played by Affleck now.
Yeah, no, and to me, you're right. It's the future. He's called Batman Beyond for a reason. He's not in modern times. There's flying cars and there's everything else. No, Batman Beyond belongs in the very distant future.
Yeah. All right.
Because that also like, don't get me wrong. Yes, you could make all his technology work in this modern time, but it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, it does. You're basically looking at the perfect mashup of Iron Man and Batman when you do Batman Beyond. And that, to me, just doesn't work. It works in its current form as the animated series we got, the one film we got, Return of the Joker, and all the media around it, the comic books, the kids' books, all that stuff. But as a big screen feature, I just don't see any way of it feasibly working. Another comment we had, changing topics. Brooklyn Vale's in the chat. What's up, Brooklyn? Thanks for all the hard work we put in. We do it all for you guys, so thank you very much. And wants to know, where do we see the Schmodown this time next year?
Damn. That's hard. Man.
I'll start by saying this. I see the Schmodown with a completely different set of people being the ones people consider top dogs in the league.
Yes.
I really do. And I'm not just... And Mark, stop nodding your head. I am not talking about your boy JTE.
Well, no, you said different people, so I can see that. Like, there's a lot of younger guys coming up.
And it's not just that. It's new. It's younger and also some older talent who have been there for a while, but are just now getting a chance to shine. Like, I think one of the best things they've done recently was the interim commissioner, having Thad take over and let him kind of become. He's kind of playing a slime ball behind the scenes, by the book guy, where he demands everything be by the book, everything be signed in paperwork. I kind of like that character. It really does sell for me. But at the same time, the influx of talent, like tournament aside, the 2 tournaments we just got through, those were amazing. Some of the best games I've seen of the Schmodown since I started watching it. But I'm excited for some of the upcoming matchups too. We got Only Stupid Answers coming back. We've got DC Movie News going up against, I can't remember their new name, but the former team formerly known as IGN.
Top Hat? Something like that, I believe.
Something like that. And then, even still, there's even been talk and going back and forth about finally getting McWeeny versus Bibiani.
Ooh, that would be nice.
That would be so good. I've been wanting that since they announced it. I'm pretty sure no one won Christian's Perfect Bracket contest, but had I entered and somehow won that, that would have been my demand, is a McWeenie versus Bibiani match. Because those two going head-to-head in a trivia battle, that'd be something for legend.
Yeah, but I live in America, so I would have gone over there.
Yeah.
I don't know who I would have played, though. I always thought about it, like, if I was really there, who would I play? All I know is I demand an Inner Geekdom match. That's all I know for sure.
You should have
I
played
don't know who I'd
Umberto.
play, though.
Umberto.
Like I really don't know like who I'd want to face because it's like I want to like face some of my favorite people, but I want a chance.
Yeah.
It's like when I was at the panel. I went for Andrew Guy because I was like, I really like you, but I also want a free shirt. And like everybody else, everybody else was like, oh, I want Roca, I want Cushing, I want Bibiani. I'm like, y'all guys don't want T-shirts. Like.
If I was an American, I definitely challenged Tom Dagnino, and if I beat him, I joined the Lions Den. Fuck yeah.
I would have challenged Dagnino, and my stipulation would have been he shuts down the Lions Den.
Nope.
That or he's banned for a year.
No.
Again? I can't believe that ban's actually almost up for Finstock. He could technically start being Finstock again.
Can't wait.
But why would he?
Well, Finstock's legendary for one thing.
Really? I don't care about it anymore. I was actually even surprised how many people didn't like wear Finstock masks like at the panel. Like nobody cared. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
He's Dagnino now. Like it's
Finstock's old news.
He really is.
And
Like,
Dagnino's
he did fine as that. He's done fine as Dagnino. Also, as much as I hate his character, super cool dude in real life as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I've been following Dagnino on social media since he was Finstock. That dude is great in real life, but that's just it. He plays the perfect slimeball character, but he gets the wrong kind of heat. You legitimately want to hate him, not love to hate him. You just straight up hate him.
You know who else is though? Straight up, Andrew Guy. That guy was one of the sweetest guys there at the panel, but man, does he play it up when he's on camera. But one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, dude. That guy was so chill.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that.
Like that guy was super chill.
Like,
but yeah, I probably would have demanded an Inner Geekdom match. I don't know up against who at that point. I maybe would have gone for like somebody just who like would have been in it. But as far as where I see the Schmodown next year, all new champs. By this year, every single belt will be held by someone who is not currently carrying it. I love Navarro, but if he doesn't lose it in December, he will lose it during championship week next year. There's no way.
oh yeah, totally.
Like,
And then
I don't see him holding on to it for a year.
honestly, I see it that based on the current lineup and the current matches, I think we only see one title stay with its current title holder at the Spectacular, and that's the Star Wars belt. I think Knapsack is going to keep that. Everything else is swapping.
I have to. That's
We know.
it.
We
Really
know
comes down. It really comes down to who wins the number one contenders match for the Star Wars title. There's
Even
some heavy
then,
hitters there. There's some heavy hitters.
there are. Like the second I saw that lineup, I was like, "Holy shit! This is going to be a fun 5-way match." But ultimately, I think from the matches I've seen, Ken can take any of them. Ken's knowledge of Star Wars is just so deep, so ridiculous.
And
Okay,
Ken can
anytime-
handle the lights. None of these people have been under the Schmodown lights except Whitworth.
Yeah.
No,
Honestly,
that's true. It's true, but you never know. You could have Ken could be having just one bad day, and he hasn't competed in a while, also too. So,
well, he has, but he hasn't competed for Star Wars specifically.
Dude,
I think.
But look at the opposite of that thing. When Navarro went up against Johns, everyone thought it was going to be Johns because Navarro hadn't been there in a while, and Johns had been competing to get there. And Johns is the one who had the bad day.
mm-hmm.
That's true. But on the flip side, but to continue the point, I honestly do think Ken will keep it because he's cool under pressure, he's cool under the lights, and if it's a topic he knows a lot about, Ken can just go. And he will go for a while. You guys have seen his drunk fights on movie fights. You know the man knows his stuff. Also loves the phrase "turning women into water slides," which I always get a chuckle out of.
But yeah, but I think you're right. I think you're right. Maybe not after Spectacular, but I feel like next year he's gonna also defend during Champion Week.
Yeah.
And I think the next contender after that may be the one to take it from him. I'm just really mad Campia's not in that 5-way.
I know. So I think a lot of us are. I'm kind
really
of sad, but John is doing his own thing, and he's kind of taking a clean break from Collider. So totally understand his point. I do hope he comes back sometime early next year, though, and starts at least appearing on the Schmodown again, but who knows?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
at least comes by for the Spectacular. I would love it if he just came by for the Spectacular again.
I honestly, I'd love if the final match, if the championship match between Harloff and Sam, we had Thad kind of off to the side, and then the main panel was a 3-man booth between Ken, Ellis, and Campia, with Ellis having to stay neutral.
Yeah.
Campia calling it, that'd be so good.
But man, if Sam Levine walks out of Spectacular as the first double champion, I'm about to lose my mind. Player of the year, hands down.
At this point, the fact that he's playing for both belts at the Spectacular is player of the year to me. That's just it.
And honestly, to me, no offense, but team of the year for Above the Line 2, swept the tournament and claimed the belts. That's team of the year right there.
Yep.
A brand new team comes out of nowhere, sweeps the tournament, and takes the belts. That's team of the year.
Yeah, no, but they've only been around for a very short time, though, too.
Granted, at the same time, what a time they've had.
And also, let's also not forget that another team that wasn't in the tournament that should have been in the tournament, without a doubt, Team MODOK.
Well, that's just it, though. MODOK had lost their way out of the tournament by losing the #1 contenders match, and then actually leaving Rotten Tomatoes kind of left them in a state of flux.
No, they lost the title match. They
lost the title match, but then that was that was the stipulation. Plus, Achity's been busy going over to Young Turks to help build up their film division. So it just maybe him and Gray didn't have time to go to the Schmodown while also still managing their work and personal lives. I'd love to see Team MODOK come back, but honestly, the tournament has shown the team scene in the Schmodown is nothing to mess with, as it should be. And you now have at least 16 teams that are going to be competitive as hell next year, going for those belts, no matter who is the champion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. And then in terms of singles, honestly, I think Sam winning the belt is just the going to be the beginning. The tournament has provided us so many new stars. Stacy's proved her muster. Brienne has proved her muster. Whenever she's ready to come back, I am watching. Mike Kalinowski has proven all the hype was real. He really is a beast. And I think JTE is going to have still going to be able to come back and continue his good run in singles. But I don't think he's going to be in that same upper echelon as some of the new talent that have come in. JTE, he does rely a lot on getting lucky with his question polls, and his luck ran out against Sam. Sam has had a
never seen John Q? Come on! Who has never seen
I've heard of it, but I've not seen it, no.
How dare you? That is a fantastic Denzel movie.
It is.
Okay, you're also...
That is one of my top 3 Denzel movies.
If you watch the reaction video of me and Chance, the Titan, he's never even heard of that movie before.
I know. I was upset with both of you.
I've seen the commercials. I've just never seen it.
Oh, I was like screaming James Wood, even though I didn't want him to get it right. I was like, that's fucking James Wood. I was losing my mind when that was the last question. I was like, please don't throw out the guest James Wood. I swear to God.
That's like me.
You guessed James Wood.
When that happened, I was literally pacing my living room and standing there with my hands clenched in fists going, come on. Don't get it. Miss it.
Dude.
And then we blanked. I was just like, woo!
No, I was exactly Sam's reaction. Oh my God!
And then my immediate reaction was, yes, Mark is going to look fucking ridiculous. This is awesome. But to be fair, you don't look ridiculous, Mark. It actually suits you.
Yeah, you've also created a monster. As
I know.
as if anyone was paying attention to the Smallest Bros chat last night.
I woke up and I saw that, and I'm just like, oh my god, what are they blaming
By
me
the
for
way,
this
anybody
time?
else out there, if you haven't seen John Q, if you never even heard of John Q, go find that movie and watch it. It's
Yes.
a freaking fantastic movie. I can't recommend that movie enough.
Let's see. Jim actually, I've got some seeing the comments here. Jim loves Andrew Guy.
Love
Sean's-
that guy. Good play on words there.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
He also thinks Jeremy Johns should have won the belt had he remembered that AC/DC song.
Which is true.
It's true. But
But that's the one I didn't put out there. I think next number one contender for Inner Geekdom will be Kalinowski. There's no doubt in my mind about that. He will be the next number one contender.
that's just it. Like, honestly, I think the final this Friday's match is going to come down to Jason Inman and Rachel Cushing. It's got to.
Hands
After the
down.
way they've each played to play in. Like, it was heartbreaking to watch Emma lose against Jason, but it's a testament to how good Jason is and how the hype is real.
Oh, when she didn't get the Ghibli question, though. Oh,
I know,
God.
I
It
know.
hurt my heart. It hurt my heart so much.
Her post game interview alongside Brienne's from when she was knocked out of the tournament. Those two are two interviews that ripped my heart out, and I was like, "Oh my god, why? Yeah. I just want to hug you. Why?"
Yeah. She was also super cool though at the time.
Yeah. Oh man.
We talked about anime for a quick second. It was awesome.
Her and Aaron are always back and forth on Twitter. Every time Aaron comments at her, Emma always replies back, like no question. She's so cool. But
yeah,
I think honestly, it's got Rachel, the run she had in the singles, the run that her and Ken were on before the tournament. Rachel has proven that this year she has a strong damn case for Rookie of the Year.
No
and at the same time,
no one else.
But Jason, I'd say McWeeny at this point, even though his singles record doesn't prove it, his run in the teams with Sam should have him in consideration.
Yes, but I'd have to. It'll be a clean sweep for Rachel for me.
But the thing is, I think it comes down to Rachel getting in that number one contender spot. That's just it. But that's the thing. Inman, he proved in that match, the man knows his stuff. We always knew he knows Trek, he knows DC, but he knows his Marvel. He does know a bit of Star Wars. He's got just the right amount of tools to get the job done. And he's been saying since last year when they debuted the belt, he should have been in that first championship match. And I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it is destiny for Jason to be in that match a year later. So I honestly really think it's Rachel, but I kind of do hope it's Jason because I think he should have been there in the first place.
Yeah, it is going to come down to like no offense to Jay Washington and Corey Jandrews, but nobody wants this more than Inman and Cushing.
Yeah.
Like Washington, he can talk all the smack he wants. He does not want it as badly as they do.
I think Jay wants it, but what he wants more is to beat Rachel for not joining up on the Misfits. He wants that in-story victory.
That's what I mean. There's a difference in want that supersedes the other, in my opinion. And Corey Jandrew, you should just be lucky you're there. Just be like Jason Inman at the beginning of the match and be like, I'm just excited to be here.
No
disrespect
to Coy.
Coy earned his spot.
Yeah, he's earned his spot. And as someone that listens to Marvel movie news on Popcorn Talk, or at least did up until they were off my podcast subscriber, he knows his stuff. I'd also like to maybe see him and Matt Key, maybe even throw in Matt Cook to throw in Marvel movie news team as like DC movie news. I think all three of those guys would do fairly well.
I got an idea, guys. Just because since we're talking Schmodown, we know what the lineup is going to be for the Spectacular now. We know we're going to get at least 5 matches, if not 6, if they decide to put in a singles number one contender.
Yeah.
If you guys got your whiteboards and markers or a pen and paper there?
Give me 1 second.
Let me just go grab it.
Always have it at the ready. Because you never know when you need your whiteboard.
I have a whiteboard now.
I know.
I can't say that enough.
Although we're going to miss the old pad and paper.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And anybody who's watching along at home, I want to see everyone's talk on this one. But here's the thing. We already know we're going to get 5 matches at the Spectacular minimum. We're going to get the singles championship, Sam versus the Commish. So we know that. We're going to get the team titles, Patriots versus Above the Line. We're going to get the Inner Geekdom Championship, Hector versus the winner of Friday's Fatal 4-Way. So, second for that. Same thing with Ken. He's going to defend the Star Wars belt against the winner of the Star Wars Fatal 5-Way. And we already know this. It's Team Action versus Team Top 10 with some kind of stipulations on the line. That has been confirmed. It was confirmed on Twitter.
That's the number 1 contenders.
Okay.
Well,
their match is a team's number 1 contenders match.
It's not confirmed for that, but there will be other stipulations. Number 1 contender is likely.
Are you sure? I mean, that's what they said at the panel.
Okay,
at the panel, Christian said it was a number 1 contenders match.
I didn't know. Well, I unfortunately didn't watch get to see your videos of the panel.
No, that's what I'm just going. I'm going with what I got at the panel.
Yeah, because I'm going by the video they posted last week after the team final. When Team Action were like, we got to play top 10 again, and then they're like, well, you can have what you want if you win, but they'll have what they want if they win. We'll make some stipulations. We'll drop some contracts.
Oh, all
right. So far we have those.
That again, gotcha.
Yeah. So far that's 5 matches we know of. There might be a 6th if they do a singles number 1 contender. That's probably going to be announced if it will be. But let's go down the line. Let's start between Harloff and Levine. Who do you think is walking out of the Schmoedown as the singles champ? But don't say it just yet.
Okay, I'm good to go.
Well, no, just hold off there, Mark.
Yeah, no.
No, we're not going to show them right away.
I know that. I'm just holding it up like this.
Okay.
All right. And also, we got dead air.
All right. So next on the list, let's go with the second championship match. Who do you think's winning between the Patriots and Above the Line?
Really?
Mark, you still got to write it down. All right. After that, move on to the Inner Geekdom. Who do you think wins between Navarro and the number 1 contender? And if you think it's a contender, it's also who you think is winning the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
That's the problem, though. It depends on who wins.
Yeah.
For me, it truly depends on who walks out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, you can move past that for a sec if you want, because next I'm just going to go right to it. Similar question. Ken Napzok defending the Star Wars belt against the winner of the Fatal 5-Way. And then finally, who do you think's winning between Team Top 10 and Team Action? And if anyone is, those of you watching, the 3 or 4 of you, if you want to play along as well, post it in the comments. We'll take a look in a few minutes. All right.
If they were to do a number 1 contenders match, who do you think they'd face?
For the singles?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it would have to be.
And also, you got to. I don't think it would be JT just because he's got the tag title match. They don't want to load up with the same people.
Well, no, because they did that with
Rocco last year. Remember, Rocco did that last year.
I don't know, but Sam's already doing that too. So, like, you don't want to have a bunch of the same people.
That's a good pick. Let's think that out and think out for the last spot. Who do you think will play in a singles number 1 contenders match if there is one?
Yeah, that's why also I don't think Rachel would be in it too if she wins the 4-way or 5-way.
I've got one of my picks for singles contender. I'm just thinking of who would be a good second pick.
Yeah.
I got it. All right.
What the? It's already happened. I can't think at the moment. For the number one contenders.
I got it.
Either I'm good to go.
I think we're just waiting on RJ.
Yeah, shut up. I'm deep in thought.
Meantime, I saw Jim got a couple of the picks in that we were asking, but wonder if he's got an idea. Jim, I'm pointing this question to you. If there is a singles number one contenders match, who do you think's playing in it? And no, you can't answer yourself. All right.
RJ, you good?
Yeah, okay.
All right. So, Mark, since I know you probably have a couple obvious picks, why don't you go ahead and start?
Okay, for the main event title match, I chose Tarloff to defeat Sam Levine.
Okay. RJ?
It's going to be close, but my money's on Harloff.
I'm sorry, man. I'm putting all my faith in Levine at Spectacular. I got Levine.
Yeah. I've got Levine as well, but honestly, I think it's for the best. A, because he's had one hell of a year and he's on the roll of his life in the Schmodown. But B, I go back to something else that happened as one of the fun scenes, fun in quotations. The fact that Thad made Christian sign a contract to state definitively, as long as Christian's the champ, Thad is commissioner. I think that's going to play a factor. I think there's going to be some screwy stuff going on as behind-the-scenes jokes and vignettes where Christian's just going to be like, you got to stop this. And he's like, you can't stop me. I am the commissioner as long as you hold the gold. So there's going to be that whole drama of it.
So what? Harloff's going to lay down?
But well, that's just it. Harloff, a lot of people thought he'd lay down for Dan, and he didn't. And he ended up winning. But maybe there will be that talk of it, that if he loses, did he lay down? Or did he do what's best for the league? Or was it just a pure loss?
Oh.
But
I don't think it's best for him to take a dive.
I don't think he will take a dive, honestly. I think Sam is just going to beat him naturally. But at the same time, there is that bit of intrigue there of, is Harloff really going to push that hard? Or is he going to try to go back to being the commissioner and save the league if that is ultimately screwing things up?
That's a quick way to get the storyline done, though.
Yeah, it is. It is, but I still think Sam's going to win regardless. I think Sam has just been on too good of a roll since winning the free-for-all in April. He's only had one loss since then, and that was to Dan freaking Merle. Come on.
But that was not a good performance on his part at all, though, either.
Still, you're going up against Dan, who just had the game of his life, and then he's on this top-notch game, running on all cylinders. I think that was a bad time for Sam to cash in, but at the same time, it's the only loss he's had this year. He's been on Player of the Year run. He's going to get that award regardless of what happens at the Spectacular, if you ask me. All right, moving on. Team titles. RJ, start with you this time.
Like I said before, I got all my faith in Levine, dude. I'm going above the line.
Same.
I think, as much as McWeeney's beat Snyder, but Snyder's beat McWeeney, and JTE's beat McWeeney and Levine. Regardless of all that, I think above the line is in the head of the Patriots.
Yeah. I agree with that, purely because the run they've been on and the fact that Sam and Drew complement each other so well as players. Between the two of them, there's very few gaps in their movie knowledge for questions that they'd be facing in the Schmodown. Even if Spinner's Choice is off the wheel, which, face it, it's going to be because that's how they play, Sam and Drew are just too good of a combo. They are walking out of there with the belts. Sam may or may not walk out as a double champ, but he is damn well walking out with at least one piece of gold, and that's going to be the team belts. So, Mark, do we even have to ask?
Of course not. The Patriots.
Seriously,
They're-
even after everything, the fact that they've had the year-long run, the fact that they are showing flaws in their game.
To a little bit to a point, but JTE is also on the best year. Like, with the exception of losing to Clark Wolf and then Sam Levine, he's killed it in tags. He's killed it in singles this year. And Snyder's also had a good run until he went up against Kristen and JT. Like,
Yeah.
they're not. Everyone wants to joke on or shit on them. They don't deserve it. They're on. JT's only lost one tag team match, and that was for the original finals of the Smalldown tournament. And tag team is their special special. They're really freaking good at tag teams trivia.
Honestly, I think part and parcel of it, though, is something I just brought up. The fact that as the champs, they don't give you the advantage of spinners and opponent's choice being on the wheel. They utilize that advantage, and it's kind of helped them in a few cases. Like, honestly, you look at the way the board lays out for the wheel, there's been a few times in their matches where something's in there where spinner's choice should have been, and it's cost their opponents.
Well, yeah,
So-
no, but it's also you're also going for the this is a title match. You don't want to have you only won because you got your specialty or you didn't get your specialty. With taking those off the board, you're leaving it up to your movie knowledge. I know what your category you're good at.
But I
That's
think
not
more
entirely
so,
true because your strength and weaknesses are still on there. That's the whole point of
Yeah.
spinner's choice. You get to
Oh, yeah.
pick from the topics that are on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
It
more
just-
so than any opponent before they've ever faced, Sam and Drew are the best team to complement each other in the Schmodown. The gaps in knowledge that Sam has, Drew makes up for. What Drew has gaps in, Sam makes up for. They are a perfect complement to each other, and Drew just takes the trash talk in stride, while Sam is able to fire it back with even more heat behind it. I don't think there's any advantage for the Patriots in this match other than spinners and opponent's choice being off the wheel. This is going to be a good match either way. All right.
And I'm going with the Patriots. Without
All
a
right.
doubt.
You just don't want to shave your head. You're falling in love with the Harley locks. That's it, isn't it?
Uh,
By the way, that's the other bet he made with us, folks, a while ago. When the Patriots lose in December and lose the belts, he's going to shave that hair off. So I want that on video. I want that accountable to us. I'm still thinking of
Oh,
my
we all
side bet.
know.
but-
He ain't ducking this one.
Nope.
He's a good sport. He wouldn't try to lie his way out of it anyway.
I know, we know. Mark, this is one of the many reasons we love you is because you are a man of your word. All right, let's move on. So on to the inner geekdom. Navarro versus, at this point, question mark. Honestly, I think I said it earlier. It's Inman. Inman is going to win that fatal four-way, and he's going to bring home the belt he should have been fighting for last December. His strengths in the geekdom are just too good, and he's got very few gaps in knowledge. So I think, honestly, Inman winning the whole thing and winning it, the belt, it's destiny. Just like he said on Tuesday, it's destiny for him. It's going to happen, and I can't wait to see it. All right. Mark, who do you got winning
Yeah.
your geekdom?
Of course, I've got Inman also. Like, if you watch my reaction with the Take 3 guys on Tuesday, I was talking about how like Inman's wanted this so much, and he's had to literally fight and scratch just to be where he is right now. With him winning on Tuesday, I really believe that this next little over a month between the qualifying match and then the title match, I think he's got this.
Yeah. And RJ?
So I kind of cheated, but unfortunately I don't agree with you guys. I have Navarro keeping the title unless Cushing is his opponent. If Inman is the one to go, I don't think he's going to beat Navarro.
Okay.
I honestly think the only person who can take it from Navarro is Rachel Cushing.
Well, that being said, if Rachel wins the four-way on Friday, would you put her over Navarro?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, Navarro keeps the belt unless Cushing's the one going after it.
Okay. Here's my thing. I was so tempted to put Rachel and her winning the whole thing. But honestly, the fact that she's going to be in the match with Jay, who's already been in her ear for these past couple of months, and is going to play a game of trying to psych Rachel out, Rachel's never really played that kind of opponent before. And I think it's going to get to her.
Yes, but in Burnett versus Washington, he has proved that he has a very weak first round. Jay Washington will be the first person eliminated in that match. And then Rachel will not have to worry about him when it really counts.
Well, that's just it. We don't know what the format's going to be. If it's going to be that they're one person per round is knocked out, or if it's the new elimination style where everyone goes through to round 3, depending on the math, and then you're knocked out in succession in the final round.
Well, think about it. That's always because they've always done it with 5. That's why they had to have that extra round. With 4, it actually works out with first round 10 questions, lowest score goes out. Second round is the wheel round, lowest point goes out, and then the final round is the last 2.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I can see
that's why I think in this one, it's going to be one person per round. And no offense to Jay, but I don't think he has enough to take on those 3 people and make it past the first round.
Yeah, fair dues. But at that point, I think he might have already done the damage. If he can get enough into Rachel's head, cause her to slip up a couple, and she doesn't have the lead after that first round, that might do it. Because if the right person, like Jason, rolls Lord of the Rings ahead of her on the wheel and takes that away from her, from steals and points, that could get pretty deadly.
I don't know, man. Inman, I've watched a couple of his matches. If he gets Lord of the Rings, he's fucked.
Yeah.
That is one of his weaknesses. Like, he will purposely go to multiple choice just to avoid Rachel stealing his points.
Yeah.
Which is key there. If you take it off the board, and you can only keep her to get in like 1 point or like 4 points the entire round.
Yeah.
That's also 4 points you're not getting.
Yeah, no, but it's also you're taking off her category. She won't be able to get 8 points that round. She'll only be able to get 4 points out of Lord of the Rings. Right. Which would be big.
But if she got those 4 points, that's 4 points you didn't get.
Yes.
So what would you rather risk? You getting no points or her only getting 4 stolen? Knowing Inman, he would rather take any other category but Lord of the Rings. He'd be like, screw it, let her have it.
There's also the X factor of Coy, though, and Coy played very well in his one match.
Like I said, he did. He did play very well. Like I said, he just got very lucky that Kalinowski had a brain fart.
Yeah. I think Coy's going to make a pretty good game of it. I think you're right. If they go with the elimination format, Jay is going to be the first out. But I think he's in there more to do damage against Rachel and Kalinowski for everything that's happened story-wise. Not just to win, though. If he's going down, he's going to try to take one of them out with him.
Exactly.
So that's going to be it. But, yeah, I think we're pretty solid there. Next up, the Star Wars title. Knapsack defending against the winner of the Fatal 5-Way. Do you think it's someone in the 5-Way, or do you think Ken's retaining? Start with RJ.
Not going to lie. I want Whitwer. I want Whitwer to come and take it. Like, Ken himself at the panel, when he was asked about the match, the first thing he said was, listen, you could have made this a 15-man match and you would have had 15 people with equal amount of knowledge who would have made it a great match. But then he was asked who he's seeing in December, and he was like, without a doubt, Sam Whitwer.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I agree. Like, if Sam goes in there with his heart in it, he's going to run the table. He's too, like, I'm sure all these Star Wars people aren't going to doubt him, but it is just like, dude, this guy is literally just an actor in Star Wars, but he knows just as much as people who cover this subject for a living.
Yeah.
And it's intimidating. That's intimidating as hell.
No, that's the thing that people forget. Sam Witwer has been a Star Wars actor for over a decade, starting off with the Force Unleashed video games and then all of the cartoons since. I agree with you. I have this final as Knapsack versus Witwer, but there's just something about the way Ken plays when he's playing against Sam that he is on all cylinders. He is on his A game. They've had 2 matches against each other, the tag match last year and this match and the championship match at the panel at Celebration, you can tell it's a different Ken you see when he is playing against Whitwer, and he's going to bring that A game. I see Ken keeping the belt, but then not much longer after that.
Gotcha.
He's a different guy when he's playing Whitwer, and that's the Ken we're going to see. Mark, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. With me, I'm going to go with my personal dark horse favorite, just because I know he knows a lot, and I watch his channel all the time. Alex from Star Wars Explained. That guy is very knowledgeable, and I'm just hoping. I would love to see him face Ken at Spectacular. Hopefully, win.
Yeah, no, Alex from Star Wars Explained, and I'll give credit to him, Joseph Scrimshaw. He's going to be in this, and he's a very entertaining guy. He's going to be fun to see. All of the combatants in that match are going to be very fun to watch. But honestly, yeah, you just said it. Alex from Star Wars Explained. He's going to be great. Sam is a beast, though, and he's proven that time and time again. He gets Star Wars category, any shape or form, he's going to know his stuff. It's like it's destiny for Sam and Ken to finally go one-on-one and prove once and for all, between us two, no one else in the way, who's the real Star Wars heavyweight. That's what I want to see. All right, moving on. Next, the number one contenders / multi-stipulation / fuck it, old versus new, team action versus top 10. I'm going to go to Mark for this one. Mark, who do you got between those two teams?
Isn't it team top 10 versus team multiple choice? Who's team action?
Oh, God.
Let's go top 10.
Any reason?
Team action, they're lucky for the most part, unfortunately, but they are team multiple choice. They don't have multiple choice, they're screwed.
All right. RJ, your thoughts?
I gotta stick with the Action Army, man. I really want Team Action to get their number one contenders, man. I want to see them. I want to see a rematch between them and Above the Line. I really do, and I'd rather see it for a title.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't Above the Line Team Action a slaughter?
No.
It came down to Above the Line didn't need their 5, but it still went to the final round, and it was still competitive to that point.
Out there. Okay.
Yep. And at the same time, I agree with RJ. The potential of what we could see in an Above the Line Team Action rematch for the belt, that's just too good. And I think, honestly, one of the stipulations we're going to see is that top 10 never get another title match. And I think that's going to play a factor. It's going to put pressure on Roca and Nost, and it's going to slip them up. Top 10 are great, but this is a new generation of Schmoedown we're seeing, and the teams division is the ultimate sign of it, and Team Action are kind of the heralds of that. So them winning and shutting top 10 out for future titles, I think it's kind of a poignant thing to see happen, and it's going to happen. It's got to happen. All right. And then finally, the wild card, if there is a number one contenders match for singles, who's it going to be between? I'll go first on this one, and it's two players that honestly, based on how they've played this year and based on what I see as predictions, if these two don't have a match at the Spectacular, it would be shameful. That is Clark Wolf and Rachel Cushing. Both of them in singles this year have been doing phenomenally. You've got last year's Rookie of the Year going up against this year's potential Rookie of the Year, and it's more women in the Schmoedown bringing representation, which is something that Christian himself admits they need and they want very desperately. These two are very, very good in the game. Clark may not be the best in round 2 thanks to her luck with the wheel, but it's going to be a great matchup if it happens. Plus, there's bits of intrigue in there. Will this be where we hear Rachel's future with Ken? Will this be where we hear Clark's future of trying to bring Riley back or going to a new faction or going her own? Will we see the Misfits get involved? But the match itself is going to be something good if we end up seeing it, and I personally want that to be the number one contenders match. And I'm getting nods of agreement, I guess.
No, just because, like, with me, like I said, it's to be on the Spectacular and then also it was tough thinking of people who aren't already booked on there or potentially booked on there. So you don't want to fill it with a bunch of I was thinking maybe Roca and Bibiani, but then Roca's already got the top 10 match.
Yeah.
Rachel's got the potentially Intergeekdom match. So it's a little tough to predict right now.
See, for
And
me,
unfortunately, with Roca's stipulation, he couldn't earn that number one contenders match. He had to win 3 in a row to be a number one contender.
Oh yeah. And no, I was just thinking of one of the feuds that's kind of been going on since June or July with Roca and Bibbs.
see, a Roca Bibbs singles match to me would be good, but I'd rather see a singles number one contenders match.
Yeah.
Than
No.
just a grudge match. Roca Bibiani could be an undercard for a future title match and be great, but with the spectacular, I think there should be something on the line in every single match, and a singles number one contenders match is the one gap on the card we have at the moment. Plus, for me, it just makes sense because Clark right now was the number 2 ranked contender going into the tournament before she got knocked out by Brienne in the upset of the year. Let's face it. You look at any other matches we've seen, Brienne beating Clark the way she did is the upset of the year.
It's really close between that and Stacy and Ellis.
Well, see, the thing is with Ellis, he only played 1 match the entire year. Well, 2 matches the entire year before that, and he lost both. So Ellis had his seed based on legacy. Clark earned her seed by how well she's been doing this year, both in teams and in singles, and how well she was doing up through the end of last year. She deserves a number 1 contender spot to finally stamp her claim to another title shot. Whereas Rachel, she's been running roughshod over the league. Her only singles loss this year was in the tournament against the eventual winner. She's got to be up there after the tournament. She deserves a top seed in singles now.
Yeah, I agree with you on Rachel's part, but for me, I'm going with how they did it last year. You take the 2 next best performers after the winner of the tournament, and as much as I hate to admit it, that's JTE and Cushing. If anyone should be a number 1 contenders match, I don't care what anyone says about overbooking so many people. No, it needs to be JTE versus Cushing for the next number 1 contender, hands down.
No, JTE needs to focus on defending the titles in that match.
Yeah. And the only
on that night.
I'd agree with that, except my problem is with JTE, his overall singles record does not deserve a title shot. Rachel is a number 2 ranked seed for a reason. In this case, now number 1 because Roca won't qualify. And Clark. And then Rachel, she's had one hell of a year. Rachel should be re-ranked up there.
JTE's only lost against Clark and Sam, and he's defeated McWeeny. He's defeated Bibbs
and Jeff Snyder.
And Snyder,
who was also at one point in the number 1
and Kalinowski.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think as long for the number 1 contender, just however they decide to go with it, I think we're going to get a good match no matter what. To me though, I think Clark and Rachel, they're 2 people that are going to play a huge role in the future of growing this league. So, and they've earned it. They've had great years. They've got great records. It would be a good one-on-one matchup anytime, but for number 1 contender, the stakes there are something that both of those ladies deserve, and they should be in that spot if you have it. Just my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
But for me, if JTE does get that opinion, he's going to pull a Roca. He will lose the team titles, but he will get his number 1 contender spot.
Yeah, that'd be
exactly what Roca did.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that'd be interesting at least. Then we get JTE and Sam in a rematch for the title.
Exactly.
That'd be ridiculous. All right. Let's see. I'm going through the comments now.
Not too much going on there, really.
Yeah.
Is there any updates that you guys want to talk about it with Full Metal Trivia, with what's going on with us, what we got up in the plans?
Well, for those of you who didn't see our last match, I officially did a call out. So Jim and Tim know that the Power Rangers match is going to happen.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen. We also want to do a movie release dates match too in the very near future
Yeah.
too.
Well,
Yeah, y'all
not
can
to-
do that. I'm staying out of that.
Well, actually, that was something I was privately talking with Jeremy about, was not just movie release dates, but more of a movie buffs match where it's release dates, classic film, directors, and scores and soundtracks all bundled into one match. So the 4 categories that majority of people would be like, fuck you, let's get them all into one and let's have the hardcore of hardcore matches.
So Full Metal, let's make all the casual movie fans feel like jackasses for not knowing these answers, Matt.
Well, yeah, and also,
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
also, I guess what we can do is, once we do this, we don't have to have any more of these questions in any of our trivia matches, right?
No,
Hey,
no.
don't be a dick.
We're still going to do directors and release dates in the future. Of course we are.
I was looking forward to the movie release dates. I wanted to compete in that.
Oh,
No,
I
I
love
don't.
release dates.
I'm not
I
saying
know.
they don't need to be
The
in
other
trivia,
stuff, those other
they're
stuff,
just a pain in my ass.
Also, for those who are watching, we've done now a couple of non-scripted shows, AMAs and
Tim.
AMAs aside.
Tim's here.
But what do you guys think of Full Metal 5 so far? Opinions on our lists aside. That's the fun of those shows. If you don't agree with our lists, we want you to talk about it and make your own and rationalize it like we have. But
Yeah, don't just yell at us.
yeah, trust me, I was watching the comments both times. While I agree with some of the comments, some of you are just a little too salty. Let's put it that way. But we do have some more plans for that show coming up. We also have, there is one we've got on the pipeline. We're talking about getting another special guest on. I will let you guys know the whole idea with Full Metal 5 is it's a weekly or bi-weekly show that will be 4 of the 7 members of the admin team and a rotating 5th special guest from outside of our group, whether that's someone like a Henry, who's coming from an outside league, who works with us, or Hunter, who's also on, or maybe we get a player who we know is someone who's particularly passionate about a category. We want to make that a regular show, and we want you guys to get involved and get engaged with it. The other thing we're talking about bringing back is Sunday streams. The last times we've done matches on Sundays, they've been very successful and very popular. We want to make Sunday a normal time slot for us because it's time that works best for a lot of us. And whether it's a match or another sort of semi-scripted show, who knows? But we want to do something on Sundays and make that a static day where you're going to get some of our content live.
Also, I personally wanted to give a thank you to everyone who's is a fan of ours and who's subscribed and is part of this league. Because of you guys, we are now roughly about 55 views per video almost right away. And we were going from 20 when we not that long ago. As someone that looks at all the numbers, or I'm trying to make sense of them and all that, I just want to say thanks to everyone for doing this. It's all every time I see numbers like that, I get happy, and I'm so glad that what we're doing, you guys like.
Yeah. And at the same time, this is part of the reason I wanted us to do this stream today, not only because, as I said at the start of the video, it's one of those rare days that a group of us all have the day off with nothing to do, but at the same time, it is Thanksgiving, and we are coming up officially on our 2-month anniversary here at Full Metal Trivia. It's been one hell of a 2 months. Trust us, behind the scenes, it's probably way more than you guys could have expected. And we have a lot of stuff coming down the line that's going to be blow your mind. Holy God, what this is amazing. We can't say yet what it is. We're just not quite at that point, but there is some stuff coming on down the line that I think you guys are really going to love and you're really going to want to be there for. All right, and then also on that note, just taking a look through here, I want to know if you guys do like this kind of content as well. The stuff where it's just us talking, because it's going to play a role in the future of this league, and we want your feedback. We want to know if you like this kind of stuff, where it's just a group of us sitting around talking movies and talking our opinions, or if you want us just all straight trivia. If you want us straight trivia, we got some ideas for that. But if you like this kind of scripted content or off-the-cuff talk show content, we'll keep doing this too. We want your feedback, though. We want your input, because we'll make it as long as you'll watch it. And if you're not going to watch it, we'll think of something else to make.
Oh yeah, very true. Okay, so if you guys have nothing else to, anyone got any questions in the chat?
Nope, just Tim was popping in late to say awesome and thanks for all the content. Jim saying he was doing the dishes after he got home. That's probably what we're probably helping him kill the time. So Jim, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Let Jim and Tim start burying in comments. Let them. I want to hear it. Come on. Don't be afraid.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
I want to hear it.
Jim, Tim, since we got RJ here, do you guys accept the triple threat match for the Power Rangers match with the stipulation that no one can watch any Power Rangers movie 72 hours before the actual match? Jim, Tim, do you guys accept?
Hold on. I want to get to that point in the video to see if they'll respond.
I'm watching it right now. I've got the live chat up.
I know Tim's been begging for it. I know Jim just wants in. I'm just going to finally give them what they want, and we can get this over with. But if I walk it out there winning, I just don't want to hear any
Tim agrees, and Jim's saying thank you, so...
I think he was saying thank you to the entertainment while he did the dishes.
Okay, now he's just avoiding the question. Is Tommy Oliver the greatest of all time?
That's a yes. That is a yes.
That's a resounding no.
Well,
Tommy Oliver is not the greatest
that's a matter of opinion, but from Jim, I'll take that as a yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, even in a geeky answer way, you have your answer. Coming soon to Full Metal Trivia. Power Rangers call out between the Red Ranger, RJ Villarreal, TM Smith, and Jim Green.
Oh, it won't be the Red Ranger at that match.
Oh.
You'll just have to wait and see.
It'll be Goldar.
Nope.
No.
You'll just have to wait and see.
This will be interesting, but it's going to be good either way.
But it won't be the Red Ranger. I can guarantee you that much.
I promise you, folks, even though they can't watch the movie 72 hours in advance, I will be joining the question writing team for this one, and I will be watching all three of those movies, and I am showing no mercy.
Hey, don't be a shit, all right?
I'm staying out.
You wrote the score and shit, all right? Nobody cares.
I've got 3 movies to go through for a whole trivia game. Of course I got to be a dick.
Dude, 2 of those movies are like an hour and 15 minutes. You'll be fine.
I know, but still.
Then you got to watch the one that came out last year. Yeah.
I actually
fuck you. That's an awesome movie.
It was okay. It was okay.
I've been waiting to see it. So now I've got a good reason to watch it a few times.
You watch it 100 times. You do yourself the favor.
Do I need a box of Krispy Kreme donuts in front of me the whole time?
Absolutely you do. You go find those Power Ranger donuts. I went to Krispy Kreme's after seeing that trailer just because I was like, I'm going to go get a Power Ranger box. I just want regular donuts, but I want them in that Power Ranger box.
Nice. Actually, before we go, that was one topic I wanted to talk about. Just as a talk show point. Maybe this could be one for the future as well, but fuck it. We're here. Let's do it live. What movie you saw this year, but do you think people shit on the most unnecessarily?
Oh, like actually shit on? No one really shit on Power Rangers. At least for me.
Yeah.
Like, so I can't really say that. I don't think people gave it enough of a chance, but I don't think people shit on it. Shit on for no reason. That's a good one.
I've got my pick if you guys need a moment.
Absolutely, yeah. I need to go back to the list and see. What's your pick?
For me, my pick is Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets.
Ooh, good one.
I saw that movie in 3D, and that's where it's meant to be seen. You don't go to that movie expecting a grandiose successor to Star Wars sci-fi blockbuster. You're going to see Luc Besson direct and make a beautiful sci-fi movie that just happens to have an attempt at a plot. It was so worth seeing in the big screen in 3D. I don't know why people hate on it so much. It's a 60-year-old sci-fi comic. It's not going to hold up as source material because so much of it has been picked to death for other parts, like Star Wars, like Alien, like Blade Runner, Power Rangers, Men in Black. It influenced so much of the genre that it's got nothing left to say. But the story they did tell, visually, was something amazing. It makes The Fifth Element look like it was made by a grade schooler. It's so beautifully done, painting this amazing cityscape of this giant, living, breathing world that is just based off of a tiny little space station growing. It's such a cool-looking film. It's worth a watch with the sound off. You just watch it. It's so worth it. It's so beautiful to see. It's so good.
God, it's been such a long year. I shit on that movie.
Yeah. Meantime, Tim, you had a question in the chat. What should you expect from movie Battleground? It all depends on who your opponent is. It really does, and it depends on what questions you get. If you're playing me, expect pain. I kid, but you won't be playing me. I've already been. You won't be playing me. I already know. I'm not playing another match till the new year. I just got that confirmation earlier. Unless they decide to do a championship match, which I will likely be involved in, surprisingly. Sorry, Jeremy. I know he was really up there for a while, but if you've seen my couple matches, yeah, I've turned out to be fucking phenomenal in that game. And I don't know how.
Tim's got pain in his future. Because I think he's got me and Dolman in that 5-way too.
Oh, right. You guys are doing the 5-way. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Tim. Sorry, Tim.
That's when I'm kind of glad I'm not in because I want to keep my record intact for now. But at the same time, I love me some Star Wars. I just know I could be talked circles around my opinions of Star Wars. So leave it at that.
Yeah.
I know where I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I got one.
Okay.
And I think, not that I don't think it was a bad movie, but I don't think it deserved all the shit it didn't because you shouldn't have expected any more. That's Baywatch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you really should have known what you were going to get when you were going to a rated R remake of a horrible TV show starring The Rock and Zac Efron.
Yeah.
And a bunch of hot people.
And very prominently announcing your Hasselhoff cameo a month before the movie comes out.
Yeah. Like, it was no.
Like, for me,
it was a bad idea, but it didn't deserve all the shit it got. And to be honest, you didn't have to go see it.
Nope. And people didn't, so that's that.
Yeah.
But honestly, no, I didn't expect that movie to be any great. I just expected it to be along the lines of The Dukes of Hazzard, where it's fun for trying to update an already outdated premise.
No, Dukes of Hazzard was not
fun. Sean William Scott and Johnny Knoxville Duke of Hazzard?
Yeah.
That's a guilty pleasure. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, I do too.
I can watch that movie all day. I fucking love that movie.
And Mark, have you...
Willie Nelson as a bootlegger is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. No, that's just perfect casting right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, but, Mark, do you have a pick for this list?
A lot of the movies this year, like I've seen two really bad ones in the theater. Okay, just because I'm a glutton for this one franchise, Transformers, but like Age of Extinction really got me disappointed because like they had the Dinobots for 5 minutes, and I just saw this. I saw the King Arthur one for the sake of seeing it, but then also like my guilty movie pleasure is the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, but even this one here, as Jim was saying, it was better than the last one, but still not good.
It's not saying much.
No, the last two have really hurt my enjoyment of the franchise.
All right,
but I can't defend those two, so
yeah. Anyway,
I got one. I want to see if Alex has to think about it a little bit.
What's that?
What movie are you looking forward to seeing during the Christmas holiday besides Star Wars?
Oh, easy.
Ooh.
Easy.
Actually, no, I've got to pick. Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water.
That's not a bad choice at all.
I've wanted to see that since it was announced. He's going back to a gothic love story, similar to what he did in Crimson Peak, only this time with the right tone. I just saw a new commercial for it earlier today. It looks amazing. I cannot wait to see this movie. It looks so good. It could finally get Guillermo his Oscar. I've been thinking he deserved that with Pan's Labyrinth,
I agree with that. I think it might finally get him it.
which is a
It's at
shame.
least going to get him the consideration.
Which is a shame because I'm still holding out hope that people will think of how good Blade Runner 2049 was and give Denis Villeneuve the Oscar for
Oh,
that.
damn it. That's a good one.
But no, Shape of Water looks amazing. I cannot wait to see it. Granted, I'll have to catch it between third and fourth screenings of Last Jedi, but
Yeah.
I am making the time to see it.
Mark, you said it was easy for you.
Oh, it was until Jim put his answer up. Oh, god damn it.
This is why we
Okay.
don't look at the chat.
It's I'd go my original was Jumanji. Just like that just looks like I think it might be a lot of fun to watch. But also the Disaster Artist. Those are the two I'm really looking forward to.
For me, I'm a sucker for a good musical, and The Greatest Showman looks fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that second trailer, like the first trailer, I was already sold, and that second trailer, I was like, yes, I want to see this movie.
I have one flaw with that movie, and it's nothing to do with the movie itself. It's looking likely that that's going to be the film that gets Jackman his Best Actor nomination. But no, he fucking deserves it for Logan.
Oh yeah.
He does.
That's the problem.
He does deserve it for Logan.
It's like Alicia Vikander a couple of years ago when she got nominated for The Danish Girl, but she deserved it for Ex Machina. So
Yeah.
she was going to get it anyway. But if Jackman's going up for Best Actor at the Oscars, he deserves it for Logan.
Yeah. And then, let's be honest, I mean, like, Greatest Showman has got Oscar written all over it. Like,
yeah.
it's going to be in there. Best Original Song, it's definitely going to get a nomination. One of those songs is going to get it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's going to win, but it's going to be up there because from what I hear, Coco's going to be in contention for that too, for Best Original Song,
Totally.
which I can't wait to see. I'm going to go see that on my next day off. Actually, I might even go see it Saturday because Saturday I actually have an early day. So I might go catch a late showing of it.
For me, it'd have to wait till next weekend, partially just because of funds, but
And
we'll
then,
see.
like you said, Hugh Jackman, yes, very easily can get one. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if, from what I've seen from it, I think Zac Efron might get a supporting one.
All right.
From what I can tell so far, I think he might get his first Oscar nom for this movie. He might get supporting actor.
That'd be interesting.
But like, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to win, but I feel like he's going to be like that fifth spot. Like, that's barely going to make it. And like, I feel like he should be considered.
Personally, I'm holding out hope that Best Actor comes down to Ryan Gosling for Blade Runner 2049 and Hugh Jackman, which will say Greatest Showman, but it's really for Logan. And Best Supporting, come on, Patrick Stewart. Anyone who's watched Logan knows. Holy God.
Oh yeah. No, without a
The
doubt.
two of them, so good in that movie.
Yeah.
And even for supporting actress, I didn't put Jacqueline Dean in that list.
Yep.
All three of the main cast from Logan deserve nods, and that's a film that I think, sadly, even though everyone says it's the pinnacle of the genre, it just came out too early in the year for some people to remember. They'll remember the performances, they won't remember the overall film. If Fox really does their thing, knows what to do, they're going to be pushing that film back out to people at the end of the year and the new year to get it back in consideration.
Yeah, like I said, like I think it's like what you said. With Showman coming out and people knowing that, people are going to be looking at Hugh Jackman being like, but look what he did earlier in the year, though. Like, I know this is good, but this was fantastic.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Also, I want to acknowledge a couple things in the chat before we get going. Nazario, you're going to have to talk to Jeremy and Chance about getting a Full Metal 5 Best Disney Movies, because I want nothing in that. I don't want to talk Disney against those guys. Secondly, yes, Turbo will count in the movies match. It was an original film before becoming the series. And there's only 3 movies. That would narrow us down from 3 to 2. So that ain't going to happen. We're putting Turbo in that list. And I agree.
Trying not to Turbo. Who said that?
No, and Nazario was just questioning whether or not
How
Turbo
dare
would
you,
count.
Nazario? It is a theatrically released Power Rangers movie. It's going to be freaking in it. Stay out of it if you don't like it.
No, he watched it. He watched it.
Yeah.
It's going to be in there. I don't care what anybody says. I freaking love Turbo. I'll fight for Turbo to the death.
I want to
Fantastic
apologize
soundtrack
to Nazario on behalf of RJ. He's fired up right now, and he's misunderstanding what you mean.
Did anybody ever question Turbo? Love Turbo.
I thought I was the crazy one.
It made you believe that a kid could be a Power Ranger. Even
Mark,
though that
have
kid
you never
sucked.
paid attention to our group chat?
Oh,
You're not
dude,
the crazy
I'm
one.
the crazy one.
Oh, no, you're not. You're not the only crazy one. All
Like,
right, on that
I tell
note,
everybody, don't mess with me on Power Rangers. Don't mess with me on Digimon, because this is what you get. This is what they get, Koba.
All right, I do want to make a couple of announcements, though, before we finish up, because we really should get going. We've been doing this for almost 2 hours. Like I said, only an hour and a half. But again, we go along. It's what we do. Coming up soon, yes, we will be getting back onto a regular schedule of Full Metal trivia matches every Monday. We're going to look to bring you Full Metal 5 at least bi-weekly on Fridays, if not weekly. We might change the day, but it will at least be a bi-weekly series. Disney is up for debate, but I know we have a special topic coming up for this week's. And yes, before you ask, we are going to do a best and worst of 2017 episode. We'll just get to that when the time comes around New Year's. I also want to announce we're going to come up with a 3rd weekly show that'll be a talk show style. The exact format, I'm still working on and tweaking with a couple of thoughts, but it is something we're going to announce soon. And I do want to promise everyone, if you are not already following us on Facebook or subscribed here on YouTube, do both, and please pay attention, because I promise, have some big news coming up in the next couple of weeks about where we're going and what we're doing. Again, it's nothing finalized, so we can't say anything yet, but there is some big news that you will want to be here, and we want you all involved in, and it's going to be awesome. So
and
on that... Sorry.
And also, just one small thing to throw on there. It just hitting the like button also helps too. It helps tell us exactly you like this video, and we'll keep doing more of that.
That's a very good point. Like and subscribe if you haven't on YouTube. Please do like the videos you actually like. Let us know what you like about them. Give us some comments. Give us feedback. I know I read every single comment we get on all the videos. There have been very few. So I want to see some more dialogue. I want to see some more discussion. If you've been watching this live, those comments don't save on YouTube. So
yes, they do.
Pop back. Well, okay, that's news to me. We'll have to go back there. But pop back in and let us know with a post comment. Let us know what you thought of the episode overall. And please stay tuned. We got some big news coming down the pipeline, as I said. But that being the case, until next time, I've been Alex Omega Warden with RJ the Red Ranger and the Canadian Nightmare, Harley Quinborg. We will see you next time on Full Metal Trivia, guys. Thank you so much. We love you all, and stay tuned for everything awesome we love to do, all for you.